As the scene cuts back to the Swan Lake's secret realm, tens of thousands of warriors had already formed an iron formation immediately after entering the mysterious rift with the color of the starry sky. 60% of Uncity's military and high-level warriors above the level of martial artists had all entered the secret realm. They were named the Vanguard troops and have only one mission. That is to gather intel about the beast tide and to try to find out the strength and abilities of the powerful Lord-level monsters or even the Overlord-level monsters. Then, make it out alive to report back, staring at the horrific tide with bated breath. These brave warriors, which to be honest are merely cannon fodders, charged forward aggressively. Their battle roar and wails gathered together to play a cruel and bloody symphony of war that shook the mountains and forests. Meanwhile, at the entrance, a temporary military defense line has been established with tanks, anti-aircraft guns and countless Gatling guns and large-caliber machine guns forming a steel formation. Any monster that steps out of the secret realm will be overwhelmed by countless bullets and artillery fire. The size of the spatial rift was limited, which meant the number of monsters that can pass through would also be greatly limited, thereby eliminating the advantage of the beast tide which was in play. As long as they hold the line at the entrance of the spatial rift of Swan Lake, which was the last checkpoint for the monsters to enter the human world, Uncity's capability of withstanding this disaster would not be impossible. This was what Mayor Hu Wang was banging his hopes on when his serious gaze suddenly shot up in surprise. And not just him, everyone was astonished to see a warrior with a broken arm and covered in blood stumbled out of the rift in the secret realm. The moment the guy got out of the rift, he drops to the ground helplessly like a bag of sand, desperately calling for Mayor Hu Wang. A medical staff and Mayor Hu Wang quickly rushed over, but at this point it's obvious the guy was at death's door. He raised his trembling hand towards Mayor Hu Wang, and in it was a USB flash drive containing all the results of the Vanguard troops' battle. Mayor Hu Wang asked anxiously where the others were. Upon hearing this, the warrior's dirty, blood-stained face wrinkled into a ball, like a ravaged chrysanthemum. He announced that they were dead. Everyone was dead. The beast's tide crushed everything to pieces, not even the corpses could be brought back. As the warrior spoke, his eyes suddenly widened again. With unconcealable fear and hatred in his eyes as he recalls the brutal encounter, he advised Mayor Hu Wang to be careful of that blood-eyed black ape. It has plotted and set them up, otherwise, at least a few thousand of them would have made it out alive. Just as Mayor Hu Wang was asking for specific details, a loud noise suddenly occurred from the other side of the rift. Then a huge stone cone flew out in a rotation, piercing through a building in the distance. Without stopping, more stone cones flew out. The fortifications that were built with great difficulty at the entrance to the secret realm were destroyed, and countless buried mines were also detonated by the stone cones. Several deafening and destructive explosions sounded in perfect unison, and it became apparent that the beast's tide was trying to blow up the unfinished defensive structures. A dreading realization flashed in Mayor Hu Wang's eyes when he noticed that the enemy's first target was the landmines beneath the defensive structures, and the attack obviously came from the secret realm. It seems these monsters want to disrupt every trap before coming out of the rift. Cursing, Mayor Hu Wang loudly issued the order to fire towards the spatial rift in the secret realm. The tanks and anti-aircraft guns in the rear opened fire, and the flames that shot up into the sky submerged the rift in the secret realm, while the stone cone attacks on that side never stopped. Mayor Hu Wang's expression was solemn. Instead of sending out the beasts, these monsters used long-range attacks to consume their strength first. Since when do monsters use military tactics like humans? At this moment, the words of the dead warrior echoed in his ears. The Overlord-level magical beast had indeed plotted against them, otherwise at least a few thousand of Vanguard troops would have gotten out alive. Hu Wangqing clenched his fists. Damn them all. Damn that blood-eyed black ape beast. Another round of stone spikes broke through the artillery encirclement and flew over with the air wave. The tank troops in the rear were prepared in advance and moved away. Allowing the stone spike to hit the ground, a soldier who was on defense suddenly heard some strange sounds coming from the stone cone fragments behind him. A giant rat with membranous wings suddenly emerged from the rubble and bit off the soldier's head. This cruel and bizarre scene was played out in countless places on the battlefield. The stone cones were actually used as projection cabins for warcraft. They flew out of the cracks in the secret realm through the stone cones and were directly dropped to the rear of the battlefield to cause destruction. Mayor Hu Wang warned everyone to be careful. The enemy's attacks were strategic and should be intercepted before they land. Damn it, don't let those stone spikes fall. Stop them immediately. The missiles began to intercept the stone cones, but this resulted in a decrease in the firepower attacking the secret realm. The tank troops fell into a brief chaos, and the warrior troops began to provide support. But the monsters had no desire to fight. They quickly hid and fled, focusing on destroying various military equipment, causing the gunpowder network surrounding the cracks in the secret realm to be sharply reduced. In the secret realm, the blood-red pupils of the black ape revealed a very cunning human-like expression. In a condescending demeanor, this ugly fucker knew time was almost up and relished every second of it. In a few moments, the humans would no longer be able to resist his beast's tide. So, in a commanding tone, it ordered its soldiers to flatten the humans and their piece of land until there was nothing left standing. A white-haired giant gorilla king of lord level, with the size of a small building, rushed out first, and the group of beasts behind it followed closely, all charging towards the rift in the secret realm. A bone-chilling roar resounded through the sky, and the white-haired giant gorilla king, together with an overwhelming magical beasts, rushed out despite the bombardment of several shells, pounded his ground with his fists, and howled to the sky. With the white-haired giant ape king attracting firepower, the large number of magical beasts took advantage of this fact. Quickly drilled out of the rift in the secret realm and fled in all directions. Meanwhile, on the rooftop of a tall building, he looked at the battlefield below and realized that humans were beginning to lose control of the situation. After today, he wondered what will become of Annie City. He looked at the once prosperous city and sighed. Although he had only traveled here for a few months, he had grown fond of Annie City and would not allow a bunch of fucking monsters to destroy the good life he fought to build. Without thinking anymore, he roared and jumped directly from the tall building, running vertically downwards with his feet on the wall of the building. While running, tough dark skin appeared over his body as he decisively charged into the battlefield in Damora's form. And with that, the scene shifted to elsewhere within the city. Luo Xin activated his Thunder Kick martial arts and kicked a monster in the abdomen, cracking it. Its eyeballs were even squeezed out by the impact. Another warrior praised Luo Xin for taking 5 beasts down already. He then took the opportunity to rush forward and dig open the monster's body, taking out the magic core to prevent it from healing itself. Luo Xian couldn't help but smile as he waved off the praise. The next moment, a hideous head of a beast was thrown in front of Luo Xian. Then a petite figure walked over, placed a foot on the monster's severed head, and teased Luo Xian for showing off after just killing low-level monsters. The petite figure was none other than Kai Shaoling. She continued her teasing session with a smile, adding that if Luo Xian was seriously calling himself the number 1 in Ant City's third high, then he was a joke. Luo Xian wanted to refute her, but also knew he probably couldn't beat her if it comes down to it. So in order not to embarrass himself, he could only be angry for a while. Suddenly, everyone felt the temperature drop sharply, and even white frost appeared on the ground. A lonely and cold young man with impeccable styled hair despite his battles walked over. Kai Shaoling was horrified when she saw the blue magic core in Zhu Zhou's hand. He actually killed a third-tier beast alone, and what's even surprising was his presence. Kai Shaoling didn't expect to see Chu Zhou on the battlefield. He didn't choose to evacuate. Chu Zhou did not answer the question about killing a third-level monster alone. He felt ashamed of showing off such an achievement, especially since this achievement meant nothing when compared with Yi He's. Chu Zhou answered in a nonchalant manner, as if he didn't take death seriously at all. Their parents were warriors, and they were on the battlefield fighting against the beast's tide. So as their children, how could they run? But just as the three were having a brief conversation, Luo Xian, with a slight trembling of his fingers, still revealing his nervousness and shock, pointed towards something in the sky and told the rest to watch out. Chu Zhou suddenly looked up at the sky and saw a tank falling from the sky. Who the hell dropped a tank in here? Suddenly he cut the tank with his sword in half. Looks like it was that one. Isn't that the Lord class beast that came out first? How did it make it to our airlines? Calm down, this not a Lord class, its SOZE and aura don't match. An elite, he thought. The suddenly MC came and pooched the monster in his head and the monster tried to push him in ground. But MC held it with his one hand and MC told the monster, time for dental care. Then he opens the monster mouth. And laughing his nuclear charge in his mouth, the surrounding people are in shock. And told if it's him he can save the city. MC told Pengzhou, I'm leaving this zone to you. I'll go reinforce the other fronts. Then he fly with his nuclear attack. The MC looked down the MC and try to found them by his echolocation. A big elephant monster charged to the human. They hold sword to fight to their death, but in after they are dead on the teeth of elephant monster. The soldiers are in horror and fighting with the monster. The black mist is go to the monster. But suddenly a blue attack his head and killed it in instant. All the monster screaming at MC, but with his help fist killed the all monster on the spot. In the other battlefield, the hunter's beast reinforcements? No, it feels like they're all moving toward one location. It's we here, city's top scholar. He was entered the BATTLEFIELDY. The beasts are swarming him from every direction. We can't let him be overrun. Let's move out. He's still just a kid and he's in city's LAGT hope. Go, snipe the monsters, protect our top scorer. A blue beam killed the monster in his head and dead bodies over the battlefield. MC is still killing monster. All the hunters came to kill the monster in the field. A monster is charging in wall, but suddenly it blocked by the wall. The city head killed the monster with his hand beam. Suddenly a giant monster came. City head look at him. The thought mountain crushing python. 4th TIER, King SPECIES, Lord class. Blood Eve's strongest mount. If the sovereign mount is entering the PIELA, the dairy monkey must be getting NERVOUNG. With the palm of his hand he attacked the monster, but it blocked it. Then Mayor attack again. With his attack he blind the monster in eye. The look at Mayor, good thing I had intel on the mountain crushing python. The TTEN. You had completely entered the city, to WEAREN, but showing your head you're just asking to be SLAUGHTEREDY. With his 1000 attack on monster, but the monster block it with his rock attack. But suddenly the mayor got ambushed by the king monkey monster. Foolish human, what do you think you are doing to my mount? The blood-eyed black ape, It was hiding inside the stone spike. Now let me crush your skull so everyone can see just how insignificant humans stray before me. The he salmem in the ground that explo sign, though it burst in a flash. I've confirmed it, your city has no strong martial artists left. I can kill everyone without restraint now. The mayor escaped with his hand to create an attack which looks like dragon. The monster human, your resistance is meaningless, you're just delaying the inevitable. On this battlefield, I no longer have a natural enemy, this has become a game for me. A game designed to make humanity drown in fear and despair. The sight of the strongest humans wearing that look, that face of HOPLESSNESS and fear, would be a delight to witness. Then it attacked the monster, but the monster blocked it with his hand. He said powerful but too slow, the attack the mayor. The mayor looked him with his deadly yeah. The monster said, why aren't you afraid? You fucker, you think you're clever, but at the end you must CULATED, because you're just an arrogant beast. And bind the monster in a formation, the sky become heavy like something is coming. The monster shouted, this is your plan, you think you can bury me underground? So naive, human. You can't keep IISEALED forever. The moment you falter, I'll tear every human here to shreds. HMPH, this isn't a backup plan. Then torn his shirt and reveal a scar in his chest. And push his hand to his heart. WH, what are you doing? At the start of this war, I buried in city's one and only strategic nuclear warhead beneath the battlefield. The trigger is implanted inside my heart. If my heart stops, the warhead detonates. You are bluffing. WHO, the hell would bet their life on something like that? You think I'd fall for this shit? I never planned to walk away from this. I am Huang King, mayor of An City. I, Huang King, offer everything, my duty, my body, my life for An City and its people. I suppose I've finally done enough. Suddenly his body got explode like a ton of nuclear bomb blast. A mushroom like fire in the sky, a drop of water fall in the PHEHT soldiers. Salutes the mayor for his sacrifice. A towering mushroom cloud rose like a gravestone from the earth. Every martial artist WHO received the evacuation signal in time stood in reverent silence. This was a funeral worthy of legends. The ground is whole with lava. The monster skeleton is laying in ground, but suddenly a fire core bright up and helped the monster to restore the body of the monster. First his heart, then both hand, his face and his eyes. Can't believe it. I was nearly taken out by that lowly human. I'll slaughter every last person in the city. I'll torture every HUMANT or death in the most brutal way imaginable. I must return to Sin Domain for now. Once I recovered my blood and GLL raised this place to the ground. Suddenly a voice came, where are you going? MC crossing his arm, look at monster. This human, I remember him. He's one of the greatest threats to this invasion, a terrifying prodigy. I found you at last. It's a shame I was a little too late. There he suddenly attacked him, foolish human genius. Instead of staying in your hiding, you arrogantly stand before me. This is the perfect chance to kill you, desktop. If you ran, my mini nuke probably wouldn't be able to catch you, but since you're so eager to die, here. You damn human. Then MC suddenly summoned Husk Titan from. Look, WHA, why did another warhead just go off? What's happening over there? Was that another trap set by Mayor Huang King? That man really did think of everything. It's almost killed the monster. He is on fear to death. See the armor titan. You're more beastly than me. Even Mostigi rank beasts don't carry an aura like yours. MC in angry attack the monkey, the monster roll of T. By the impact, it's no use to run, little monkey mountain shifting sea flooding strike. The monster also attack MC, you are sovereign class beast to the end, even while injured, all skinny and twitchy like a monkey, which you are, I guess. In Titan mode, my physique has passed 30 points across the board, yet, I couldn't completely overpower Yolu. And you somehow managed to damage my arm, but it wasn't enough. I used my full force on the last strike, you've already healed it. No, I can't beat this genius. The suddenly began to run. MC attack his nuclear breath to kill him. Damn you human genius, that monkey burrowed underground and played dead. But pretending to be dead means it's afraid of being found. It's suffering unprecedented injuries. This is the best chance to kill it. Seems like overlord level magic BRASTS can conceal their presence completely. If I'd located it Balia, Mayor Huang might not have. But now he's gravely INOURED, even with its concealment, any faint trace of LIFE I can still sense it. Found you Don monkey. They again nuclear charge to kill him, damn it. JUGT a little further already. GINGED the entrance to the Jin domain bag nearby. If it weren't for that damned human Mayor stud. This is the price for defiling Mayor Liang, I'll make you wish you were dead. The monster hold his core his hand, suddenly his hand become more powerful. And attack to the MC, the birth punch clutch to each other and MC hand got crushed. And he fall, but the monster got also knock off. FMC tried to kill him with his nuclear power. But suddenly a song came which caused mental attack to the MC. This is psychic attack, the flow is full of hand and it's carrying the monster body. MC tried to move but his hand joint got blocked by little hand prevent to movement of MC body. These hands are locking the joints, my body can't move. HMPH, don't think this can trap me. 208 degree temperature. And still rising and burn the all hand taste the burn of flame. The monster is almost the portal. MC throw his fire titan body to the monster to kill him. Hurry, that giant caught UP. He's literally on fire. Hurry UP, run. The all hand came in together and a face is formed. MC told, wait, what is this? Is it a beast with power that Overlord too? With power that terrifying, is it an Overlord too? If its true form appeared, I'd probably be on my knees the very first second. From the dimensional rift in the secret realm that was 100 meters high, countless arms stretched out like a tide and was as high as a huge mountain. In the center of the wave of arms, there was a woman's head, and two beautiful hands like masks covered her eyes. He was aware that the other party was on the other side of the rift, influencing him across the two dimensions. With such terrifying power, what the hell was it? Was it a monster? And if it was it also an overlord? If this mysterious creature's true form happens to appear out of the spatial rift, he will probably be on his knees in that very first second. The woman's head seemed to feel his approach. She opened her eyes, finally having enough with this young human's meddling. Under such a terrifying stare, she lets out a scream as loud as the glorified, disfigured banshee she was. Her screams made he felt as if his brain was about to explode. Even though he had blocked out the giant anthropomorphic hearing, the eerie scream could still reach his brain. The giant howled in pain, and he tore open the flesh at the back of its neck and crawled out. The filthy monkey had killed so many people, and now it wants to leave just like that. He was like a madman, and with only endless murderous intent and madness in his eyes, he roared and added that the fucking monkey was dreaming if it thinks he would just accept that. He poured all of his atomic energy into the giant's body, and the giant's body with Damora's genes immediately entered an overload mode. All of his flesh and blood was melted by the blue magma-like blood. Leaving only a huge skeleton to support its movements, he controlled his giant's flaming body to the edge of the rift and shot out from the neck like a missile, burning all the jade arms, blocking his way to ashes. When the giant's body was about to step into the rift of the secret realm, he faced the head of the woman with covered eyes and gave her the middle finger. He gave her a mocking smile and added that it was a local specialty of his hometown, a nuke to light up her ass, and he hopes the bitch likes it. The woman with her eyes covered stared directly at the flaming giant which had entered the secret realm like the harbinger of death. At that moment, her screaming session intensified, but it was out of sheer desperation and shock. Then, the dazzling blue and white explosion flooded everything. Part of the aftermath of the explosion poured out from the rift in the secret realm, blowing the wiki hundreds of meters away like a fallen leaf. The blue-white light passed through the rift in the secret realm, dispersing the nuclear explosion smoke and dust that filled the outside world. Like a small sun rising in the nuclear explosion wasteland. This obvious phenomenon was soon noticed by warriors several kilometers away. A warrior pointed out uncertainly that the rift in the secret realm seems to have exploded. Another also discovered a surprising issue. Something unexpected had happened because the beasts were suddenly in chaos. You see, the beast tide obeys the leadership of high-level monsters and has demonstrated a high level of organizational ability in previous battles. But now they were like a colony of ants that had lost their composure. Either attacking blindly or fleeing in all directions. All experienced warriors realized what this meant. The overlord-level beast was dead. They wondered if Mayor Hu Wang King's plan had succeeded. Everyone cheered up but stayed sharp, not wanting their mayor's sacrifice to go to waste. The city of Anking can be saved if all the remaining beasts are eliminated. The carcass of the blood-eye black ape was finally destroyed by the giant nuke, halting the flow of beasts through the rift into Incity. And the remaining warriors who were originally showing signs of fatigue due to the high-intensity battle were suddenly revived as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They finally saw hope from the dark sea of beasts. The siege lasted a full day and night, until every beast was hunted down. The exhausted warriors were finally treated by the medical staff after the siege ended. Somewhere on the battlefield, Chu Zhou sat silently with a brutally battered and bloody body. The damage assessment showed that although Ancity won the siege, it was at a devastating cost. Nearly 80% of the warriors and soldiers were killed or wounded. Meanwhile, at the site of the previous nuclear blast, a young man finally opened his eyes just when the city finally got a respite and a new life. He sat up a bit disoriented. He wondered just how long he had been unconscious after pouring all his remaining atomic energy into the giant's body to create a small nuclear bomb. His body fell into a sleeping state. Fortunately, the place where he lost consciousness was full of fresh nuclear radiation and residual atomic fission energy, which recharged him after he depleted his energy. This battle was extremely brutal, so much so that Mayor Hu Wang had to even intervene himself, luring the blood-eyed black ape to the nuclear explosion zone and obliterated thanks to that. He was able to use the home field advantage in the nuclear explosion zone and self-destruct repeatedly to finally kill the blood-eyed black ape before the woman's head tried to rescue it. With the little vitality left in its magic core, it was impossible for it to heal itself. The subordinate beast tide chose to retreat because they sensed the death of the overlord. Even though his infinite monster template was strong, it still couldn't match an overlord-level beast. Winning this battle was sheer luck, advantages, and fate combined. He clenched his palms, feeling the surging atomic energy rushing through his body. Given enough time, he will reach the peak of martial power in Xia Kingdom. However, this time the secret realm ride throughout Xia Kingdom has given him a sense of urgency. He has no time for growth, he doesn't know when the next template will be available, and it may not be a gold tier or higher if he draws it. It seems that the collection of plant attribute magic cores needs to be accelerated, because merging with the planet Dimerus template was the fastest way for him to become a top tier warrior. There is also the Shanwang martial arts. Since the infinite monster templates can help him cheat in the Wuyun space, he must also grasp the martial artist's extraordinary system. Although the growth period of Shanwang martial arts was slower than that of his template abilities, its potential was also extremely high. After all, this was the cultivation system in the high martial arts world. And perhaps being transported to this world was part of his destiny. On the wasteland, he looked at the city in the distance that had just experienced war, and silently planned for the future. 1 month after the beast invasion, and city had mostly resumed operations. In the city center, a bronze statue several tens of meters high of the former mayor, Hu Wangking, was built. This was for the citizens and the future generations to remember the great warrior who dedicated everything and saved the city of Wangking. He also learned about the damage in other cities from the news. On his smartphone, he was informed that a total of 18 cities in the entire Xia Kingdom were attacked by the beast's tide. And 12 of them were completely destroyed. After the S-level secret realm appeared in Guanshan City, the entire city was shrouded in an undetectable and impenetrable grey fog. At this point, Guanshan City was completely cut off from the outside world. The imperial capital selected 30 warriors and 5 grandmasters from the national warrior organization named the Darkseer Dragonbird, and went to investigate under the leadership of Grandmaster Du Jingming. Xia Kingdom's strongest national defense level warrior, Fu Hongsheng, was on standby outside the S-level secret realm. After 12 hours, none of the 36 warriors left Guanshan City. So Fu Hongsheng went into Guanshan City in person. Finally, after 8 hours, the seriously injured Fu Hongsheng walked out of Guanshan City with the 2 surviving masters. Xia Kingdom also listed Guanshan City as the 11th life forbidden zone in the world, and 1.8 million people in the city were confirmed dead. Countless lives eventually turned into cold numbers of casualties, appearing on Yi He's smartphone. This was the most serious invasion of the secret realm that had caused the Xia Kingdom the most damage since spatial rifts appeared. For the first time, Yi He realized the dire survival situation of humanity. Even National Guardian level martial artists were barely enough. He can't wait any longer. Only by possessing great power within himself can he survive in this turbulent world. He turned off the news and called the only person he knows that has access to the items he needed. At the Liu family's mansion, Yi He asked Qin Lan for a favor. Qin laid lazily on a leather sofa. Her silk pajamas were little revealing, showing her perfectly toned pink shoulders. She guessed that Yi He wants to learn the remaining 2 Shenwang martial arts of the Liu family. He felt a little nervous upon hearing this. Was this the image Qin had of him in her mind? He replied that that's not the case. He would like to ask her to help him acquire some high-quality plant attribute magicos, preferably blue magicos or even purple lord-level magicos. Plant-type magical beasts were already rare, and lord-level magic cores were even more precious. He has a really big appetite. Anyway, since he wants these items so much, what can he offer in return? This reply was not a no, so he grew more confident. He stated that at the beginning of each school year at the Imperial Capital University, there's a secret realm assessment for freshmen. He can team up with Lu Qingzhou and help her get first place. When he made this declaration, Qin Lan's lazy posture was immediately alert, her gaze becoming sharper. He was underestimating the top talents from other provinces and cities. Her daughter's ability was only above average among the freshmen of the Imperial University in previous years, not even in the upper reaches. Although he had outperformed Liu Qingzhou in the competition, he was still short behind the top geniuses. He gave a sly smile upon hearing this. He boldly stated that Qin Lan chose him to revitalize the Liu family, right? He can write an IOU. If he doesn't get first place in the freshman class, he will work like a slave for her in the Liu family and provide for her retirement. Qin Lan got up from the leather sofa and made her way towards the window. She agreed to help Ai just this once.